Welcome to Rishkith's Anima Tactics overview for the Empire organization. A little bit of fair disclosure first. This is the entirety of the Empire force that I have in front of us. However, at this point, all the Empire characters are in the Anima Tactics rulebook. New Empire characters will probably be released this spring or summer or something, but they're all currently available to me, and I've played against them enough that I'm going to try and give them a fair overview and review in this video. So, first things you should know about Empire characters. They're stat-wise, they tend to have low attacks, which they make up for with fairly often possessing critical mastery and a very high base damage. They usually have a high armor value, but a low resistance. The high armor makes it so that in normal attacks the damage is reduced by their armor, so they tend not to take a lot of damage. However, the low resistance means they are susceptible to a lot of special negative effects that your enemy may do to you. So unlike when I did the church overview, there is the new rulebook out now. And one of the things you can do with this book is when you're playing an organization, you can pick organization advantages. Empire gets 3 advantages to choose between. The Empress Chosen, which makes one of your characters a lot tougher. Combat Mastery, which gives you a better chance to critical hit, 10% better. So it's a D10 base game, so normally you critical on a 10. The Combat Mastery makes it so you can critical on a 9 or a 10. Some characters in the Empire, a fair number of them, have critical mastery. So combined with combat mastery, they can critical on an 8, 9, or 10 for a 30% chance of critting. The last advantage is Imperial Armor, which gives every character +1 armor. This has led to a force that others have called the Iron Wall, picking all Empire characters with the highest armor values so that there's no weak targets in your force. There are characters who can ignore armor, but they're not very common. The odds that your opponent will have more than one of them, even if they have one, is not very high. So this simply allows you to gang up on any armor-piercing enemy and annihilate your opponent when they can't break through your armor to hurt you. So besides advantages, Empire, like the other overview, has 2 leaders. First one here is Yuri, who is more of the support character. He's a pretty good fighter, actually, very good fighting stats, but he can give buffs to the team he's with, either increasing their attack and damage, allowing them to recover an action point. That's critical because a lot of Empire characters only recover 2 action points a turn normally, which is not very good, so they need that. He also has initiative, which helps the team by giving you +1 to all initiative rolls. The other leader is Griever. Griever is pure combat monster. You do not want to get hit by this guy. Critical hits, and he has special attacks, for instance, that allow you to make 4 attacks against the same target, just all consecutive, boom, 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 boom. That right there tends to destroy models. He's a pretty straightforward killer. Claire, who is the figure up here. Claire is a spear user. She can make melee attacks from 2 inches away, which means she can sit behind even tougher tanks like Cronin and aid them in attack without being vulnerable. Not that she's really vulnerable. She has 3 armor, which is a pretty good stat. She also has a charge attack which causes throw. That means that for every point of damage, that enemy model is also moved backwards. So if you want to keep your opponent away from you, excellent model. Duncan Reed, also a good tank potentially. He also has critical mastery with the rulebook. He got improved over what's his card that comes with the model. Well, it was a little weak, so in the rulebook they gave him critical mastery and 2 more life points. This guy is definitely worth his point value now in a game. Lillian Virgil, Empire's only other support character right now. She can increase the Empire character's resistance, which is critical because it's low. She is the only Empire healer. And she can allow the other Empire characters to get an advantage when charging. Unlike most other support characters for other forces, she's not as weak. She has 2 armor, which is incredible for a support character. Cronin, who is just a tank, he has a special counterattack. This guy is one of the tougher models to kill in the Anima line. Odin Goldsmith, another combat monster. He can chain criticals. Whenever he gets a critical hit on an attack, he gets to make another free attack. As long as you're making critical hits, he keeps attacking. And he keeps doing damage, because critical hits always go through. I've had many characters die repeatedly due to this guy. In my first battle report, he was definitely deadly. Janus Face, another potential tank. Daniela, the ranged attacker of the Empire force right now. She has all distance attack. In fact, she defaults with a 16-inch range attack and can deploy in advance of the rest. Commonly used to draw her to the harder targets in the Empire. Vale, a prowler, who's sneaky, forms a team with Daniela and Janus. Samuel, the Black Lion, very nasty offensive-oriented character. He has better armor, like all Empire characters, but this guy dishes out a lot of damage. He does area attacks, he can make ranged attacks, and not too easy to kill. He gets special bonus counters for when he kills an enemy unit, and those counters can allow him to stay on the board even when he's been killed. And potentially he can come back alive if he kills the person who killed him. Finally, the Empire Agent, who actually gets some pretty good buffs and can become a good character in their own right. Probably the best of all the organization agents. There certainly can be tanks, and they can do pretty good damage too. So that is the current Empire lineup. If you like having an army where each guy weighs a ton in his armor and large weapons, then Empire is probably the force for you if you liked everything else that was said in this video. I hope this gives you a pretty good idea of the Empire force in Anima. As always, if you have any questions, please leave a comment. Bye everyone, and thanks for watching.